Okay, from this, let's work on a ketone. I'm not sure, is it for the first time you hear this one? A ketone.
No.
Okay, so now, what will be the general formula of the ketone? We need to understand the general formula. Remember that you can use the general formula to do what? You can use the general formula to find the molecular formula. So if this is a ketone, the general formula is going to be CN H2N then O. So now what I need you to realize from this is that the ketone and the ketone and that aldehyde, they have the same general formula. The difference is that here the N starts at the N. When we say the N, the number of carbons start at 1. It can have 1, 2, and so on. But for the aldehydes, it's going to start at 3, 4. So that's the difference. 3, 4. You're going to understand. Everything will make sense when we work on examples. So N here is going to be 3, 4, and so on. So now from this, I need you to understand how do we see the functional group of the ketone. So now, the difference between the functional group of an aldehyde. Remember the aldehyde, the functional group, it is on the carbon that is at the end of the chain. So the functional group for a ketone, it should be the carbon that contains the double bond O, it should be between 2 carbons. So now can you see the difference? For an aldehyde, the carbon can be at the end of the chain, but for a ketone, the double bond that contains the O should be between 2 carbons. I'm not sure if you understand me on that. Are you happy with that? Do you understand what I'm doing here?
Not really.
You don't get the difference between these two?
Yes.
Okay, let's go back to an aldehyde. Check an aldehyde. Tell me, if we do the naming, which carbon here has the double O is the carbon at the end. Can you see this carbon? You see where's the blue part, right?
Yes.
Exactly. The carbon at the end is the one that will contain the the double bond, the carbon with O. But now the moment I move this and bring it on carbon number 2, can you see that this carbon here, carbon number 2, it will be attached to another carbon this side. It's also attached to another carbon this side. It's no longer an aldehyde, but it's a what? It's a ketone. This is what I'm trying to explain. I'm saying that the carbon with the double bond, the O, the carbon with the O, it will be attached to a carbon on both sides. That's how we see a ketone. Are you still with me on that?
Yes.
So now, what will be the suffix, the ending of a ketone? What will be the suffix? So, the suffix of the ketone, it will be 1. Right. It will be 1 from that word ketone. That's the suffix. So now, that you understand the suffix, we can just do one drawing and we can try to maybe do the IUPAC naming. Let's say we have 3, 4 carbons. Let's put our ketone here. Right. So remember, the carbon should only have what? The carbon should only have 4 bonds. This one, number 2, is already have bonds. So now what I need us to do is that I need us to name the longest chain. We need to name the longest chain. But when we name the longest chain, we need to give our functional group the lowest number as possible. So can you see that if I say this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4. Then let's try naming this. That was from right to left. We need to do the naming from left to right. So this will be 1, this will be 2, this will be 3, this will be 4. So the blue one gives this, remember this is what? This is our functional group. This is where we have the functional group. Let's quickly highlight that part. Maybe we can quickly highlight the functional group there. So, okay. We have the functional group at carbon number 2 and 3, because now we need to highlight how we're going to do this naming. Which naming is correct? From left to right or from right to left? So now, this is the functional group. We need to give it the lowest number as possible. And if I start naming from right to left, which is the blue part, we get it to be carbon number 3. But if we start naming from right to left, we give it carbon number 2. So between the purple and the blue one, which one is the correct naming for finding the longest chain? Mungi, which one has the lowest number? The blue or the purple one? I can't hear you, Mungi.
The purple one.
Exactly. So since it's the purple one, this tells us that our functional group is on carbon number 2. It's on carbon number 2. We need to count how many carbons do we have. We said 4. So the root name will be what? The root name will be bute. Right. Therefore, we can say it is on carbon number 2 because we said the 2 is the one that is lowest. It's on carbon number 2. Then we add what? We're going to add the suffix, the ending, which is 1. So it's going to be buta none. So now, let's say this naming, we can also write it as bute. After n, we put a dash. We say where is the functional group on carbon number 2. Then we can put another dash and say this is 1. That's how you do the naming. So now they'll ask you in an exam to give us what? They'll ask you to give us the condensed formula. So let's do the condensed. Okay, let's do it like this.